Hello, smart people. Rose here. Welcome back to académiqueGust. Today we are on day 5 of académiqueGust, and we're going to be taking a look at what's inside my iPhone. Let's start at the first screen. Here I have the apps that I use the most. I don't like to have them in folders, so I just have them out in the open. I have first on the left-hand corner, it's the weathers app. I use that a lot, especially here in Montreal, where the weather can be all of a sudden really sunny and pretty outside. Then in the afternoon, it can be rainy. So I like to know how I should dress for today. Also, right next to it, I have maps, pretty self-explanatory. I have reminders, which I use to create quick reminders and grocery lists and things that I have to pick up or do relatively right away. Then I have the notes apps. Usually when I don't have my iPad with me, that's the app I use to take notes when I'm in a meeting, or if I have to write something that I have to copy paste a lot, I will also do it in notes. Then I have my calendar. I mostly use the native Apple calendar, so I have it right there. There I have all my calendars for académiqueRose, for PhD, even for my work. I have them all in there. I also have the mail app. I use the native mail app as well. And something that I use quite a lot is Audible. I've been listening to a couple of books. I know it feels kind of like cheating because I count them also as books I read during the year. And right next to it, I have the podcast app. And those two, Audible and podcast, those are the apps that I use the most when I am on my commute. Then I have the camera. I use that a lot as I tend to take a lot of pictures here and there for Instagram. I also have photos, which is where the majority of the editing of my photos happen. And yeah, right next to it, I have Apple Music, which I use a lot, especially when I'm writing. Then here at the dock, I have the phone app, which surprisingly I don't use as much, but I like to keep it there. I have Safari, which is my web browser of choice. I have WhatsApp, which is where most of the friends I have made here in Montreal, it's the one we use the most to communicate. And I have Messages or iMessage, which is the one I use mostly with Adam and my brother and my family and friends back from Puerto Rico. Next, on the other screen, I have Instagram. That I have to say, Instagram is my favorite social media app. Right next to Instagram, I have a folder where I have everything, every single tool, app that I use to create images for Instagram or any other Instagram related app. IGTV, self-explanatory, IGTV, Planoly, and those are the two apps I use combined sometimes to basically plan my Instagram feed. I have InShot, which lets me edit photos and videos. I mostly use it to edit my IGTV videos. I have Instagram Cleaner. I haven't used that in a while. It's basically to clean up your followers and the people you're following, and it deletes or unfollows those inactive accounts, or it blocks followers that are inactive or scams. And on the other side, I have Type, which is used to put like beautiful animations of text in my Instagram stories. I also have Snow, which has different face filters that are not on Instagram. Next to it, I have Pixelmator. That is if I have to do a really kind of heavy editing on my photos, like erase something that's on an image or something like that, or duplicate it or do another effect that I cannot do with the other apps. I use Canva a lot for my thumbnails on YouTube, and sometimes I use Canva for the quotes I put every Monday on Instagram. I have Focus, which lets you adjust the focus of the portrait photos Blur photo, that is to blur information. For example, if I take a picture of my driver's license or something of the sort that has confidential information, I would use blur photo to blur that information out. Color splash, I used to use this one a lot when I was taking black and white photos for my Instagram feed, and it will allow me to select only one object in the photo that could have color. Lisa helps me select hashtags if I am not feeling or not sure about which hashtags to use for a photo. Facetune, I've only used it once to play with it, but I kept it just in case I have like a really bad day on which my face doesn't look that good. I used it once to whiten my teeth, but that's it. And layout, I haven't been using those, but they're still in my Instagram folder. And over here I have apps for video editing, Boomerang, Clips, iMovie. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Live Plus, that is to take the live videos that your phone takes and convert them into GIFs or videos. So I use that one from time to time for my Insta stories. And I have YouTube Studio, which is basically where I can see the performance of my videos, and I also use it to reply to comments and so on. VIPKid Teacher app, that's the app I use to actually know how my schedule is for the day or the morning and the different classes that I have to teach and go over the materials. Next to it, I have Twitter, then Hootsuite. Hootsuite lets me schedule posts on Twitter and Facebook and other social media platforms. Right next to it, I have WordPress, which is what I use to manage my website, académiqueRose.com. Here are most of the apps that I don't use as much, but I still like to have them on hand. So this is Deliver. Delivered is an app so that you can take tracking numbers for shipments and see exactly where they are as the carrier or whoever is providing the service starts updating them. Here I have some apps that I use to either schedule. So this is Facebook pages to manage my Academic Rose Facebook page. Trello, I use it for basically organizing tasks that I need to do, mostly for Academic Rose. I have Gmail, that's where I have my email account for Academic Rose. Forest, this allows you to have a Pomodoro style of timer, and it grows a tree every time you complete that timer. And if you touch your phone before that time is completed, it will actually kill your tree. GoToMeeting, I've used it once or twice, but I still like to have it there. Toggle is for keeping track of time. When I was a freelancer or working for a consultant, I used that app a lot, and it helps you to track where the bulk of your time is going, and also for billing if you have to bill by the hour. I have here Doodle, which is to schedule meetings and allows you to pick the times that everyone is available. Advocate Hub, this is an app that is mostly used for VIPKid, and it's kind of like you complete challenges that give you points on the VIPKid platform. Next to it, I have all the things that I use for documents. Goodreader is good for reading documents. Drive, Google Drive, Dropbox, I think you've heard about Dropbox by now. Adobe Scan, this is for scanning documents, just as Scanner Pro is for scanning documents. I also have Slides from Google, Lucid Chart, which is to make diagrams. Keynote, I use Keynote a lot on my iPhone, but mostly as a controller for when I'm presenting. I control the presentation with my iPhone. I have Pages. I also have VerbTech Pro, which is a LaTeX editor. LaTeX Help, which helps me kind of like a pocket reference. It works as a pocket reference for math equations and commands on LaTeX. I also have Sheets from Google Docs as well as Docs. And Papers, this is an app I wanted to try out. It's basically for reading academic papers. And I also have PDF Expert, which I used to use before I found Adobe Acrobat to read a lot of papers. Next to it, I have Google Translate. I use this app a lot, especially when I'm communicating with French speakers here in Montreal, and I don't know all of the words in French, so I search for the word I'm trying to say or the word they just told me so that I can know the meaning. Next to it, I have all the apps that come with Apple that I usually don't use as much, so they're just dumped in there. I know that some of them you can erase them, but I like to keep them anyway. Next to it, I have my recording or listening to apps. Just press record. That's a recording app. Calm. This is for meditations. I use it every morning actually. And Brainscape is an app similar to Calm, but I still haven't played as much with it. These are all my keyboards that I use on my iPhone, but since you have to keep the apps, I keep them all in here. Grammarly is for correcting your grammar and make sure that you don't have any grammar mistakes on your text or whatever you're writing. GIFs or GIFs or however you want to call them, I use that one a lot. Emoji Blitz gives you Disney GIFs. And Giphy, which is another GIF search engine / keyboard. Here I have other apps that are more related to my health. I have Day One, which is a journaling app. I have Clue, which is to keep track of my menstruation during the months, my period. I have Activity app, which tells me the exercises and steps and all the things that I've done. And I have Health app, where I usually record my weight in the Health app. Over here, I have all my banking apps. Over here, I have all my social medias. That's why I have the like and the heart. So here's Facebook, Snapchat. I haven't been using it that much. Periscope either, but I still have them there. YouTube, I keep it on this folder because if not, I would be on YouTube every single day, every time. I have LinkedIn, Pinterest, Reddit, and Goodreads. And over here, I have Facebook ads just in the back because I haven't used it as much, but I still like to keep it there just in case I run a campaign or whatever. So over here on this folder, I basically have all the apps I use for video watching, most notably Netflix and Cineplex. Cineplex is the cinema we use here in Montreal. You can buy movie tickets and manage your points with it. And also Time Play is used to play games on the screen. And next to it, I have a bunch of apps that are basically to move around and travel, especially travel. Happy Cow would let me know which are the vegan restaurants in the place I am at. Yelp. Google Maps, I have it here, even though I tend to use Maps more. I have it just as a backup. Passport MTL, basically since I am a student here, I get to have a Passport MTL, which gives me discounts on most activities in Montreal. The app Transit, this is by far the best app to navigate from place to place, especially if you're using public transportation. Next to it, I have Disney World. This is the app to basically manage your travel at any of the Disney parks. Uber and Translator, that's another translator I have just in case. Right here, I have all the apps I would need if I go to an airport. So I have United, the airline, Mobile Pass, where you can keep your tickets and whatnot, Air Canada, another airline, and Skyscanner. This one was recommended to me by a friend. So this is an app where you can search for tickets or flights and select the cheapest one. Right next to it, I have a folder of basically apps that I can use to keep myself smart. I have Coursera, that's for taking courses online. I have flashcards where I can make and also review flashcards created by other users. Duolingo, I started using that app for learning French, and I use it from time to time just to review. The GRE vocabulary deck, I still use it from time to time because I have to say I like the GRE words, so I review them to see in case I can use them for my writing. I have the mental math from the GRE as well. Sometimes I use it. Babel, that's another app similar to Duolingo, but you have to pay a subscription, but it takes you on a faster pace. Tiny Cards, another type of flashcards. Vocabulary Builder, it's another app for the GRE. Quick Logic, this is a game, but it's more logical, if I can call it that. And on the other side, I have multiplication, so this will take you to multiply in your head really, really fast, and Khan Academy. Here, I have all the apps that I need to use at stores. I have the Copper Branch app, I have the Canadian Tire, the SAQ. SAQ is Société d'Alcool du Québec. That's where you basically buy all your alcohol here in Quebec. IKEA app. Indigo is similar to Borders in the States. Sephora, Starbucks, PC Optimum, this is Shoppers, or Pharmaprix, which is a pharmacy basically. Shutterfly, and And keyring, I don't use keyring as much here in Montreal because I have the apps for the stores that I frequent here in Montreal. Over here, I have all of the games I have on my iPhone. I particularly love Picture Cross, Exploding Kittens. This one you can play it with multiple friends. Quiz Up, I used to play it a lot, but I don't play it as much anymore. Kings of Pool, this is to use AR and play pool table with your phone, and you can see the pool table and make your shot and everything. It's really cool. And yeah, all the other ones. I use Snake vs. Blog also a lot, and Helix Jump. Oh, and I've been obsessed with Block Balls, but I play it more on the iPad. But I guess you will see it on what's on my iPad coming soon. Okay, and this is the last folder. Basically, these are all the apps I use for messaging, Messenger on Facebook, groups, Skype, Hangouts, and Slack. So that's it. Those are all the apps inside of my iPhone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Let me know if there's any app I mentioned that you did not know about or that you're gonna go and download as of now. And also let me know in the comments if there's any app you would recommend for me. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, smart people!